You're going to want to hear this, guys. E.L. Katz, the director of Cheap Thrills, has returned to the director's chair for a post-apocalyptic film that's written by Simon Barrett and stars Samara Weaving. Yeah, that final girl. Let's get into it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing another spoiler-free review of a movie at FrightFest in London called Azrael, and it's starring Samara Weaving. Now, it's also called Azrael, Angel of Death, which I presume is probably going to be the title in the UK, but on IMDb it says Azrael, so I'm just going to call it that from here on out. Now, Azrael has already been to a lot of different festivals this year. It actually started at South by Southwest in March, then moved to Overlook in April, then Fantasia Fest in August, and then now we're here at Fright Fest in London, where I was able to secure a screener copy for me to tell you about it in a non-spoiler way. When I heard that E.L. Katz, Simon Barrett, and Samara Weaving were working together, you better believe that I was excited. So what is it all about anyway? It's essentially about this girl who was imprisoned. It's the post-apocalypse, and she has escaped an imprisonment from a group of cult members who are trying to track her down to sacrifice her to something dark and bizarre that's lurking well within the woods. Of course, being Samara Weaving, or Azrael as her name is, she escapes and fights to the death this cult. But there's something else going on here that you might not clue in right away. Will she survive, or will it be the end of the world all over again? So this is a movie that is kind of like an action film in parts of it, while also being sort of another subgenre. So I'm going to try to avoid as many spoilers as I possibly can, but I'm just going to give you kind of an overall feel of the film, what I liked or disliked about the film, without really going into too much detail, because this movie is going to be releasing later on. It won't be very long, by the way, but I'll tell you that at the end of this review. So this is like an action film with another subgenre included, packed into a post-apocalyptic film with like a final girl with Samara Weaving, who is phenomenal. And one of the things that you'll notice that I think may make it or break it for some individuals is that this movie has a lot of people that are mute. The cult has chosen to go mute for reasons they explain in the movie. Pretty much there is nobody talking throughout this entire film. Is it enough action to really keep people engaged to the end? And I would say yes and no. There is a lot of stuff going on in this film that is a lot of chase sequences, a lot of different characters that appear, and then something that's lurking in the woods that's also being added into the pile here to kind of keep the machine running. And when that machine gets a churning, boy, does it churn a lot of blood, gore, and brutal moments in the film. It gets pretty wild. There are some moments in the film that they show full-on stuff, but it's not all over the film. There's just quite a few moments that it has in the film. There's a couple of scenes in this movie that I definitely approve of. But, I love my gore and I love my crazy weird stories, but was it enough? Did it fulfill every nook and cranny that I think this film could have explored? Personally, while I love everyone that's involved and love their movies, I really feel like it could have had some more depth to it, and it could have done more things in the film that would have made this movie infinitely better than it was. And maybe that was just my expectations that were high because of everyone involved. Will people enjoy it? Of course. It's a well-made movie, and it's not hard to watch. This cast in particular, there's a lot of people that you probably won't know. In fact, Samara Weaving's the only one that I actually did recognize. And I think that's partly because they shot this film in Estonia, which looks fantastic, by the way. The woods, the like everything, it just looks really good. But there is some moments in the film where it kind of feels a little samey in the same respect too. Now, this thing that's out in the woods that I can't tell you about and what's going on, it'll pay off by the end of the movie, but there's going to be some people that watch this movie and have a lot of questions. And I think that some people are going to be pretty miffed about that. And with the fact that there's no one speaking in the film, which I think is kind of an interesting challenge, and I'm sure Samara Weaving, who does a phenomenal performance here without speaking, thought it was a good challenge for herself as well. But there are people out there that didn't like when people weren't talking in the movie No One Will Save You that aired on Hulu. So I imagine that there will be some people that might not like that here. The other thing that might be kind of crucial to a viewer is that I feel like this movie has a really interesting subplot and like what's going on. There's a lot of pieces that are all in the right place, but it doesn't explore enough in the story that it could have. Like, this could have been layers and layers deep of like a lot of things going on in the environment, in the woods, with the characters, that could have made it a much more mysterious, atmospheric kind of film. But in some ways, this movie just kind of feels a little too grounded for what it is actually trying to do and what it's actually about, which once I clued in as to what was going on, it really kind of diminished some of my hopes and possible expectation. And because we didn't really get to hear them speak, I think we're kind of missing out on some of that lore. Now, of course, I won't spoil anything, but there was a moment that happened in the film that sort of changes the entire film and kind of made me question as to what that moment was all about. And it kind of left me like wondering about that the rest of the film and how it connects to all the other surprises that I get in the film. And I think some viewers might feel the same. But like I said, I enjoyed the film. I think that the performances are good. It could have had a lot more added to it to make it more beefy and kind of give you more treats along the way in this interesting story. I would probably give this, because of that, about a 7.5 out of 10. It's not that it's a bad film. I just feel like it deserves so much more. It's well made and it's not a bad film at all. I just think that there's going to be a lot of people in my shoes who feel the same way. I have friends who have seen the film at another festival and absolutely adored it, but I'm a little bit more on the fence with this one. I love everyone involved. I wish them the best of luck on this film. Thank you, FrightFest, and everyone at Azrael for allowing me the opportunity to screen this film and check it out for myself. I will definitely be seeing this movie again at some point in time, maybe just to kind of give it a second watch. Now, as far as seeing the film, it's going to be released in the UK by Signature Entertainment. It's going to digital on September 30th, and then October 7th, you'll be able to get the Blu-ray or the DVD. In the US, IFC Films and Shudder picked this up from Republic Pictures to be able to put out into theaters on September 27th, and then it'll be brought to Shudder to do on their streaming services sometime shortly after. Probably a month or two is usually how they do it. But yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think about this film. Are you interested in the concept? Do you like Samara Weaving? Do you like E.L. Katz? Do you like Simon Barrett? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button. I have playlists for all of FrightFest and all of Fantasia before that. So if you're looking for films that are going to be coming out to you soon, check those out and let me know what you think. But thanks for coming by, and as always, long live the void.